Let's see. So common items. Is Catalyst a common item now? It is now a loot item. Okay. Oh. When you sell this, transform your leftmost small item. Okay. So this is going to be kind of annoying to get from level up rewards, but I think it's a cooler loot item to have around than truffles. It gives you a reason to keep like useless diamond loots that you've got lying around. Really gets his core at level 3 now. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'm gonna miss from the official patch notes. I think for the most part, for card changes, the Halbazar notes were better than the official patch notes. They were certainly more accurate than the official patch notes. But things like structural changes, like Dooley getting his core at level 3 or event changes, you don't get those here at all. Like, I wouldn't hate if they had like a one-page summary of like things that they changed in the events or structural changes that they made to the game, like level ups, or if they modify monster fights at all. I don't know if those would show up here. I would like to see some official patch notes for that, if that's not going to be covered by the How Bizarre notes. Yeah, bug fixes. Like, you don't need to have a full patch note list of everything if third-party sites are able to do it better than you can, or the same as you can. But for the things that can't be handled by the third-party sites, it would be nice to have a little something. Maybe you could like include justifications of why you're making changes as well. Arcuvian launcher. Oh, they added an R. Okay. So yeah, this is cool. This is cool. This is at least a lot more exciting than Truffles is. It does something for all the characters, even if it is primarily a Mac item. And then they removed the loot tag from Truffles as well. I think my Discord spoiled me on this one. Very happy to see that gone. Dually items. They're just fixing the text on this. It was already doing that. Arc Blaster's a bit faster. So now the cores all start at silver, so you don't need to tax your first B1, B2 on your core if you want to build around the core. Oh, they're also better. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, my music is really loud. Let me turn that down a bit. The bugs. So all the enabler bugs start at silver now, and they didn't scale them down, so the ceiling is a bit lower on them as well. Diamond Beetle is the same as Gold Beetle was. Okay. See what other changes there are. Bomb Squad. So the haste doesn't scale up. The burn doesn't scale up. Oh, the cooldown goes down. Huh. That's a weird one. So at Diamond, it becomes a lighter that hastes itself. A slightly slower lighter that hastes itself. You can scale the burn with the Omega Ray. But if you're doing that, it's not next to a friend. Interesting. Bomb Squad is so fast now. I mean, it's every 2 seconds. Chem Snail does more. The targets on Chem Snail scale up. But the cooldown goes up. I mean, this is 5 drill triggers at Diamond. I don't know. With the dock lines that you need to invest some curios into. It's a cool item, though. Chris Army Knife damage is the same, and the cooldown goes down. Did the same thing for Copperhead. Just like all the bronze small friends getting that treatment. They changed First Aiden? No. So, yeah, First Aiden's the same. Why do these have to be shit? Huh. I guess in the late game, you could just, like, buy a Copperhead at Diamond from the shop. It's some non-friends are getting this treatment. I don't understand. Not that the upgrades mattered a ton before. I guess it's just a way of making the upgrades feel relevant. Just a weird thing to have get cooldown reduction with level ups. Does mean that Chem Snail is just a 1 second slower dock lines with poison? No, the base slow on it is 1 second instead of 3. Crit Core does way more crit chance. At Diamond, it solves half of your crit for your whole board. Huh. What can take advantage of that? Copper Red just better at silver and up? Yeah, but Copper Red was really bad. The only reason that you ever put Copper Edge on your board is because it was a friend. Like, it was basically a friend that had a cooldown that didn't do anything. Sometimes you'd have a shield skill, and you would use this as your receiver for a shield skill because you have nothing better to do. But for the most part, you just played it because it was a friend. Ignition Core scales itself now? Scales itself now, but doesn't go to 7 burn. Okay. Okay. What's on Changed Companion Core? Or did I skip it? Oh. Oh. That seems unhinged. What? This is... Did they change scrap metal too? What? No. What are we doing? This is probably busted. Isn't it completely outclassed before? Not really. It was probably one of the better cores before. It was one of the ones that I was most likely to keep on my board all game. This is also the most important stat on the card. And there's stuff like scrap metal to get it down to base 3 seconds. Like, so imagine you get an early insect wing. You insect this down to like 5.7. And then when you get it to diamond, it's 3.7. And then you scrap metal it down to 2.7. Basically, every 2 friends you activate, you haste 2 things. You could use this as a fiber optics trigger if you want to give up one of the hastes. You can also just use it with Ballista, potentially. Buffing the cores in order to make people actually keep them on the board. Yeah, I guess. Like, I guess you could say that Companion Core was just like a bad DJ robot before. At least now it has its own identity of just being super fast. It's so fast, though. Yeah, so it's probably viable to just all in on Ignition Core burn again, as long as you can build defensively on Dooley. Induction Aegis gets this change again. Laser Pistol 4 second, Power Sander 4 second, unbonking some mediocre items, cool. Your friends have +1 multicast, and their cooldowns increased by 2 to 1 second. I think that's a way to try to balance the multicast and make the upgrade feel meaningful. Huh. Wonder how often this is worth playing at gold. That is... really slows the board down. Solar Farm. The text change. The core. Oh my. So... multi's still great. Just stops things going infinite. I mean, the multi is not great if the cooldown is increasing by enough, right? Like, at some point you're using 3 spaces on your board in order to make your board, like, 20% faster. They're just more effective uses of your space. Now the cores are good, dually exclusive skills finally useful. This is like the first patch ever where the cores have been bad. Like the previous patch. In almost every other patch, the cores have been good. It's just such a huge buff. Huh. Golden Bulldozer, but you go off slower. Yeah. To go off slower is probably the biggest downside to a comp in the late game. Like, the thing that makes Bulldozer good isn't that it makes your board 30% faster, it's that it makes your start 30% faster. It's the same reason why, like, Holster is such a strong item. This is the opposite. Item to the left of this is a vehicle. It has its cooldown reduced. So any board can play command ship if you want to spend a small space on thrusters. This effectively makes a vehicle small. This is the first small vehicle enabler. We always joked about, like, First Aiden should be a vehicle because it looks like a vehicle. It's clearly driving around. But I was always shot down by chat because there can't be a small vehicle. Now there's kind of a small vehicle. This isn't a terrible effect either. Better Hourglass? Well, it's only for one item. Hourglass is 2 items. But if you've got command ship, it's 15% on one item and 10% on your board. Not bad, not bad. And then fall below half health enchants. Okay. Weaponized core. You said you get the cores on level 3 now? I guess it is more damage. Feels like now you're getting this one at the point where it starts falling off, but... Scales itself. Oh, it does scale itself. That's true. That's true. Missed the line on that one. Lots of damage on Flamethrower. It is. I mean, it already was. It depends how much slower the game gets overall. I feel like from the notes that we've read so far, I guess the Beetles got slowed. I don't know. Welding helmet. Like, nothing's really gotten better defensively, right? Just, like, a little bit of the offense has been tuned down. Exactly, Blue Beetle. Let's see what happens to the other heroes. Oh, Yellow Mantis. I guess if they're gonna put some of the enablers to silver, you just put all of them to silver. Makes sense, I guess. Consistency. Alembic. At the start of each day, transform the small item to the left of this into a random potion and get another transform. That's kind of cool. So you get 2 transforms per day out of Alembic. That's only a little bit worse than the distillery. You're probably going to like 3 shops a day with distillery. This is still giving you 2, takes up less space. Does Catalyst sell for gold? I think it does. But it also gives you a bunch of econ. Well, a gold worth of econ. Oh, it is 0 gold? Just not reflected here? Okay. Does upgrading Catalyst do anything? No. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, I think they'd give it, like, the upgrade hammer text. Or, like, transform and upgrade it if it's a lower tier. Aladel. At the start of each day, get a Catalyst. Already a pretty okay tempo item if you've got the defenses. Now it gives you a bit of transform synergy too. At the start of each day, get a reagent or catalyst. Okay, either get part A or get part B. I feel like it's more awkward than just getting part A, but I guess they wanted to throw catalysts on more things. Athenor gives a catalyst too. Ooh, they also increased the cooldown on Boiling Flask. Oh. Will people finally stop saying that is playable now? Or are people still going to cope? Start of each day, get a catalyst. On Laboratory? Interesting. Transform. Buff the reload. Oh, sure. Does Mac have non-potion ammo items? Does it only matter for cross-class stuff? Oh, and Boiling Flask? Oh, the cooldown. Sure. Mirror. This was already what it did. Mortar and Pestle gives a catalyst. When you buy this, get a catalyst. No more lead. So Philostone doesn't turn into Econ directly. So Calcinator stocks go way up, right? Is Calcinator just like the strongest item in the game now? That comp can kill fast too. And Retort. Well, Retort's a worse Calcinator, so hard for Retort to be the best item in the game. Until you see Pig. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Already did that. Deals double crit damage. Oh, the Deadly Enchant. Sure, sure. Did they do the same change to the other thing that has full crit? No. So Deadly Bottled Lightning is still garbage? Cool, thanks. The more relevant one. The one that you actually start with sometimes. The one that you're going to give Deadly to is still unusable with the enchant. Cool. Thanks, game. When you use a potion, this gains burn and regen. Sure. The cooldown on this is still like 7 seconds, right? Sifting Pan doesn't give a reagent, instead gives a catalyst. Sunlight Spear cooldown goes down. Sunlight Spear looking like the best build. What am I missing? Why? Venomander. Oh, what? I didn't even know that this thing got lowered cooldown on upgrades. Aurora Dome. When you freeze, shield items get more shield. Sure. The problem is just enabling this. It's just so hard to get the freeze package together on Pig. The Furnace. Gets a second faster. Gets tripled scaling on property sales. And the Golden Enchant. Igloo plus Aurora Dome now good? Probably not. Money Tree. Heal equal to this item's value. Ooh. That's a much better item to keep around now. You're still not putting it in play, but now it benefits from selling the spare change. Still takes up too much space to want to like keep around cash register plus money tree, right? No, you are putting it in play. What does this thing's cooldown? Hold up. Goes to 1 second. Money tree is 6 seconds. Oh, I assume this was an enchant. Oh. That's just a property of the card. I see. Yeah, that's much better. Huh. Hey, Frosty. So how do you get spare changes? Cycling briefcases, cash register. Oh god, piggy bank. Billboard and money tree on board. No, it's just this is the thing that you stack value on in order to fuel like either an enchanted subscraper or an enchanted money tree. It's just the value stack target now. God, it's a bronze item too. This is miserable. Why are we doing this? Why are we Why are we doing this? Yeah, VIP pass is nuts with it. VIP pass is super duper nuts with it. Especially, like... So how quick are you getting this to a 1 second cooldown? Can you get it to a 1 second cooldown before enchantments hit? Yes, easily. That's fucked up. Because then you just, like, go into a PvE fight and win in fatigue before this gets any damage on it. And then you still get to use your level 10 enchant. Try to give it damage. Win that way. Ugh. That reads so strong. This was such a strong line of text on Billboard, too, but it was kind of kept in check by how hard it was to get Billboard. That was just on a bronze. You get the scale from, like, day 1, day 2. VIP Pass is already good without the min-max. Yeah, but the min-maxing makes VIP Pass absurd. Like, the best value generation item in the game by, like, a multitude of 10. People talk about, like, what's it called? Ledger being crazy scaling for property values. But VIP Pass, when you're winning in Sandstorm, on a 1 second cooldown property, is what, like 40 value in a fight? That's cool. 6 second cooldown, though, but kind of cool. Robe starts at bronze. Cooldowns. Okay, that's a lot of shield. Um. What can you put next to this? How do you kill a pig early now? You can throw a matchbox next to this. Can anything beat that? This is a bronze item. Put a tree next to it? Yeah, if you got the tree fast enough, sure. Why is this 100 shield? That's so much shield. That's like Blastdoor's levels of shield. You know how hard it is to beat a Blastdoor's? You don't even need to upgrade it. You just keep it at bronze all game. At least Blastdoors you want to be upgrading, if you want to keep it around. This is Aquatic Armor's 50 base. Yeah, and doesn't get charged. When you burn, heal. So +5 on the healing. Realistically, if you're relying on Sauna for healing, you always have a heal skill anyway. I'm not sure how much this matters. The extra regen's cool, I guess. I don't know. I haven't liked Sauna much without the ability to dupe matchboxes. This is my favorite item when it got introduced. But, really wanted the matchbox dupes for scaling. Silk Scarf scaling goes up a bit. So it's above its pre-nerf levels, right? When this first got introduced, it was 5, 10, 15, 20. My Sauna and Tree? Well, it gives regen. It gives you heal triggers if you want to do things that care about heal triggers. Sauna's a cool item. I like Sauna a lot. Textiles is crazy now. When you overheal. When you overheal. When you overheal? So it doesn't have a cooldown anymore, right? So I hate how this is either completely useless or unbeatable. Why are you working textiles? Winkman go crazy with luxury tents. I mean, it counters burn and poison now. 20 tree with weights is kind of good now. Maybe? I feel like it's probably better things you can be doing than weights, but... Like, why play weights to gain damage when you could just play VIP Pass and win in Sandstorm? Fully cleanses burn and poison? Well, that's not how that works. It'll reduce it by half and then reduce it by half again, not reduce it by half and then look at the initial value. You'll go to a quarter burn poison. Okay, we got Vanessa items. Beach ball. Ooh. That's cool. Bronze beach ball was unplayable before. This means you can play a small aquatic package of just like beach ball plus catfish. Play no other aquatics, and it's like an okay day 2, day 3 board without any upgrades required. You could throw a B1, B2 on beach ball, and maybe throw in a seaweed too. Or before, like you couldn't even consider the beach ball until it was silver. On the beach ball, only ever using itself made you quiet. Yeah, it was such a miserable item. Dark water anglerfish. Always has its diamond cooldown. Wait, so silver dark water anglerfish is now just what diamond dark water anglerfish was before. And it gets 10 burn per level. That's a lot of burn per level. Wait, we're buffing dive weights? What is happening down here? What are we doing? For what it's worth, I don't think I had a successful Darkwater Anglerfish board. I feel like that had more to do with the meta being more hostile towards it than it actually being bad, but I do like moving the power of some of the burn items away from requiring a bunch of burn skills to be functional. Diving Helmet was already carrying. I don't know. I mean, we had some good runs with it yesterday. Those are also the only runs where I ever put a Diving Helmet on my board. I don't know. It seems unnecessary, but it starts at silver. Whatever. Mac just raised the game's power level, and now we're bringing everyone else up. I mean, the other characters were able to compete with Mac. Like, Dooley was the best character last patch. Vanessa had the highest ceiling boards on average. I think only Pig was in a bad spot last patch. Vanessa was a little bit inconsistent, but when Vanessa hits, she had the stronger boards. Mac consistently had a pretty good board, and Dooley had a more consistent, stronger board. Does a lack of stamina compared to backup battles lead to burst damage meta? Not necessarily. There have been times where burst damage is very good, but not usually. Just like there's plenty of other mechanics that you can try to optimize rather than just damage. It can also end fights. It just lets you play multiple weapons if you want to. Like, stamina was kind of a bad mechanic in backpack battles, in my opinion. Think about Dooley not starting with cores. It's a strange change. I don't know. Elemental depth charge. Gets much better with upgrades. It's a comp that's really indebted to upgrades. Because you're going to want the figurehead maxed out too. This thing needs CDR. Go back to Persona list, please. Can I get a song title? Which Persona track do you want? Incendiary rounds. I was so upset. I was so upset. Jellyfish poison scaling goes up. Sure, whatever. Later burn scaling goes up slightly. Sure. Make these items a little bit more playable when you don't have a skill to go with them. More upgrade deck comps. This is like the kind of thing that I didn't like about charge meta. It was just like how many comps want to hit multiple big upgrades in order to feel functional. I'm not sure how bad it'll feel here. Maybe every comp still just has like 1 or 2 big upgrade targets, but I'm always really worried when there's these huge upgrades like this. Jellyfish, good early game now. It's almost exactly the same early game. It gets +2 poison at silver. It's the same item at bronze. Often do they just completely replace effects on items and patches? Somewhat regularly. The patches are pretty big. Just Persona 4 is fine. Just some Persona 4 track. Okay. Silverfish got the same treatment as Anglerfish. More damage, cooldown reduction. Diamond Lighter now cascades itself. You sure? By the time you have a Diamond Lighter, that is not relevant. You're hoping that Lighter is doing way more damage than this if it's on your board by the time you have Diamond items. Makes it way harder to use this for charge looping. Not a big change for the Shark Ray builds, I guess. The increased start time is just so scary. Deadly Shipwreck doubles the cooldown increase. Oh no. Vents is way better overall, especially early. Yeah. So Vents with a burn skill is the same as Vents with a burn skill was before they nerfed the burn skills. Which was pretty good. Now there's maybe a little bit more reason to be in burn, though arguably the burn comps don't care as much about getting burn skills when you've got numbers like this built into the items. So a trip for displaying item info. Yep. Yeti Crab. When you freeze, adjacent poison items gain poison. They doubled the scaling on Yeti Crab. Huh. Interesting. They doubled the scaling on Yeti Crab, but they've also made it so that the scaling on poison isn't as important by increasing the poison scaling from other means. They're just sort of like keeping these numbers relevant. This matters a lot for depth charge, for what it's worth. Still just so much upgrade debt. Like, this wants to get the diamond. You want to get Figurehead to diamond. You want to get this thing to diamond. Meta is person who starts first usually wins. The multicast large items feel unplayable at bronze now, situationally at diamonds. Their tech item to increase the cooldown reduction from feather. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there are a lot of comps that just, like, start working when you get multicast, but it's definitely a huge downside to have a slower start time. This is, like, the difference of a holsters. And Zorkid gets faster for some reason. Cool. Cool.